7 ablaze at the moment and apparently getting ready to collapse.
Building 7, free-fall collapse.
Well, no, there's number 7 coming down. The excitement and the fun that people get watching an old building being demolished, and they wired very carefully for days, and it's a very careful operation.
Third time today. It's reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before, when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed.
The secondary explosion. We've got numerous people covered with dust from the secondary explosion.
Just floor by floor, it started popping out.
It was like, as if they had detonated.
Yeah,
as if they were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
Looks sort of like the building just demolished.
Even if there was no secondary explosives in the building.
Kind of like gunfire, you know, bang, 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 and then all of a sudden, 3 big explosions.
People of the United States and the world demand the truth, sir.
We have to continuously ask questions. That's what a patriot does. That's what a true American does. We ask questions.
Well, you have to admit that there are people who do want to kill Americans.
Yeah, some of them are called the police.
But you don't want to get blown up by a bomb.
I don't believe in that boogeyman shit. Shit that motherfuckers be passing on, I don't believe that was Bin Laden today. I don't believe it was never him. I think it's some dude just standing. I can't even believe. I'm sorry. I'm from the projects. I know danger. I don't feel no danger from that shit. I'm so not alone.
That doesn't mean you're right.
That don't mean that
doesn't mean you're right.
It don't mean that it's not valid neither. Science, highly educated people in all areas of science have spoken on the fishiness around that whole 911 theory. It's like the magic bullet and all that shit.
And what happened?
It is time for us all to dig deeper, because this could be an inside job. It's time for American citizens to stand up and pay attention to what we're here for and what this country was founded upon and where it could be going if we, each one of us, does not stand up and write our congressmen or our senators and let them know we are very concerned with what the Patriot Act means. What is it taking away from us concerning homeland security?
But I did not want to believe that my government could possibly be involved in such a thing.
Absolutely, I don't think any of us want to.
I couldn't live in a country that I thought could do that.
Exactly.
That would be the ultimate betrayal.
Sure.
Then, however, there's been so many revelations that now I have my doubts. And chief among them is the Building 7.
And it's the ignorance of people who do not educate themselves. We need to start looking out for each other instead of attacking those that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. 3 buildings came down like demolition.
What do you think?
2 of them were hit by a plane, but the 3rd one looked just like the other 2.
Do you think the American government is behind it?
In Pennsylvania, the plane that went down, there was just a hole in the ground. There wasn't any wreckage. It's the hole in the Pentagon being too small for a plane. The government's not showing the plane hitting when many cameras photographed it. Those things bother me.
So, listening to your new album, the single Uprising, they will not force us, they will not control us. Who is they?
Who is they, yeah. I suppose, let me think. When I was making the album, I was reading a couple of books. I read a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman, which is quite interesting, which talks about how these very large corporations basically exploiting the world, exploiting people, exploiting nature. So I suppose you could say they is kind of orientated towards what in that book he refers to as the corporatocracy. You know, the idea which that there is like a corporate power which is above our governments, you know, and which have a lot of influence over our governments. You know, the political system is where you vote for a representative, like in a constituent area, and this person represents you in Parliament, and you really hope this person votes for policies that you agree with. You know, but what often happens is these people are very influenced by lobbyists. You know, these people that work for large corporations.
Always been interested in religions in its many forms, but mainly interested in conspiracy theories and the hidden hand that's guiding everything. Fascinated by, you know, I'm into the Illuminati and the Bohemian Grove, and 9/11 was an inside job.
You, sir, have the power as well as the responsibility to initiate a truly independent congressional investigation into the events of 9/11 as well as its aftermath. We want our country back, Mr. President. Therefore, I'm not just calling on you and your team. I'm calling on each and every American citizen to wake up, stand up, and demand the truth.
Man, you hear this bullshit they be talking every day, man. It's like these motherfuckers is just like professional liars, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. Listen, Bin Laden didn't blow up projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
Tell the truth, nigga. Bin Laden didn't blow up projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
I pledge no allegiance, nigga, fuck the president's speeches. I'm baptized by America and covered in leeches. The dirty water that bleaches your soul and your facial features, drowning you in propaganda that they spit through the speakers. And if you speak about the evil that the government does, the Patriot Act to track you to the type of your blood. They try to frame you and say you was trying to sell drugs and throw a federal indictment on niggas to show you love. This shit is run by fake Christians, fake politicians. Look at their mansions and look at the conditions you live in. All they talk about is terrorism on television. They tell you to listen, but they don't really tell you their mission. They funded Al-Qaeda and now they blame the Muslim religion. Even though Bin Laden was a CIA tactician, they gave him billions of dollars and they funded his purpose. Fahrenheit 9/11, that's just scratching the surface.
Bin Laden didn't blow up projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
Tell the truth, nigga. Bin Laden didn't blow up projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
They say the rebels in Iraq still fight for Saddam, but that's bullshit. I'll show you why it's totally wrong. Cause if another country invaded the hood tonight, it'd be warfare through Harlem and Washington Heights. I wouldn't be fighting for Bush or white America's dream. I'd be fighting for my people's survival and self-esteem. I wouldn't fight for racist churches from the South, my nigga. I'll be fighting to keep the occupation out, my nigga. You ever clock someone who talk shit or look at you wrong? Imagine if they shot at you and was raping your moms. And of course Saddam Hussein had chemical weapons. We sold them that shit after Ronald Reagan's election. Mercenary contractors fighting a new era. Corporate military banking off the war on terror. They controlling the ghetto with the fear of attack, trying to distract the fact that they engineering the crack. So I'm strapped like Lee Malvo, holding a sniper rifle. These bullets will touch your kids, and I don't mean like Michael. Your body be sent to the morgue, stripped down and recycled. I fire on house niggas that support you and like you, cause innocent people get murdered in the struggle daily, and poor people never get shit and struggle daily. This ain't no alien conspiracy theory, this shit is real, written on a dollar underneath the Masonic seal.
I don't rap for dead presidents, I'd rather see the president dead. It's never been said, but I set precedents.
Bin Laden didn't blow up projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
Tell the truth, nigga.
Bush knocked down the tower.
Tell the truth, nigga. Bin Laden didn't blow up projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth,
City
nigga.
Records was 80 seconds away from the tower. Some cowards fought with the wrong building. They meant to hit ours.
No individual can save a nation. If a nation is sleepwalking and doesn't wake up, then it will never be safe. But an individual can be a catalyst, can be a cause to wake them up.
Also can.
I read that you said that 9/11 was a crime with a motive. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think that when we talk about 9/11, I myself don't like to give into conspiracy. So I just say that while I can't come here and say to people, oh, I know exactly what happened, that I know that the government's version is definitely not true, because they couldn't even tell the truth about the air to breathe after that occurred. They said that it was safe, that it was fine, and then when people developed these respiratory illnesses, and a lot of the first responders got very, very sick, some of them died, they went into full deniability mode. So someone that can't even tell me the truth about whether I can breathe this air or not, it really makes me question what else they said. You know, when I talk about it having a motive, I think that it was used as a catalyst to justify several other actions, or countless numbers of actions, I should say.
Such as war?
Not just war, but consolidation of power within America. The war on the outside, I think, is more of a distraction. Their language is money, you know, and what they do over and over is take a action that occurs outside of this country, and while the public is completely focused on that, begin to reorganize what's happening here in America with the Patriot Act, with going after people who have some sort of criticism of America, with discrediting individuals who would even question the smallest concern that they have in terms of what the government's doing behind closed doors.